tried it before. I never seen it before. I never seen it before yesterday, that is. What am I talking about, you might ask? It's something called DELICATA squash. Let's take a look at what DELICATA squash looks like, and I'm gonna have to see what it tastes like too. Stay with me. It's Robert with Your Electric Plug. In front of us we have three wonderfully beautiful specimens of exactly that, the DELICATA squash. I've never tasted it before. I've never seen it before. Yesterday's trip to HEB. So we're gonna cut them open, see what they look like, and cook something up with them, and we'll let you know what it's like. In my research, it looks like this tastes like corn, pumpkin, and even sweet potato. Wait a minute. They even call this a sweet potato squash in some places. Okay, well today I found a recipe called creamy kale and mushroom stuffed DELICATA squash. We're gonna alkalinize that real quick, and we're gonna try it. I'm gonna let you all know what it tastes like. So hang on with me, and we're gonna go through the cooking process together in the whole 9 yards. The skin of the DELICATA squash is very delicate and also edible, which is the reason for the name. That being said, it's very important to get a good scrubbing of each of your squash to make sure you get any dirt or debris off of the squash. I have a solution of spring water, key lime juice, and sea salt that I'm using to scrub the exterior of the squash, because just in a little while we're going to cut open the DELICATA squash and scoop out the seeds. There's no need to scoop out the flesh of the squash because, as I said before, the skin of the squash is edible. So give those a good scrubbing, and we'll be right back to cut them. I've read that the best way to cook these is to cut them in half, scoop out the seeds, and then bake them face down at 400 degrees for approximately 15 to 20 minutes or until tender. So we're gonna take a knife and do exactly that. First time going through one of these, so the skin is fairly easy to cut through, but then again my knife is pretty sharp. Again, we've already cleaned these very well with sea salt, spring water, and key lime. The plan is to eat the skin. So again, cut all the way through both sides. Try to get that knife in evenly. I know some of you are saying, why didn't he just use a larger knife? But this is my favorite. So nice looking on the inside. Just set that one over to the side and do the same thing on these two also. So go in straight down. I'm kind of using that line as my guide up, but I guess not. And then try to line back up on this side and do the same thing. There we go. Be careful, more careful than I'm doing. Let's see, cut that piece off. Cut that stem off. There you go. I should have told you to do that first. And then we can, there we go. Cut that straight down. Just like that. And one more time, we'll do that again. Only this time I just try to go straight across the top. Let's see how that works out. Rock the knife back and forth. And straight down. Once again, give me a few minutes and I will get these all scooped out and nicely prepared. I'm after I turned off the camera, I realized that I probably shouldn't have, so that I could show you about how easy it is to just take a spoon and get all of the seeds out of this beautiful delicata squash. Start at the top on both sides, apply firm pressure in a downward motion, and you'll see how easy it is to dump these out. And then, as you probably guessed, we're going to get that kale and mushroom mixture and use in these little boats, and then we will cut through and consume the delicata squash boat with the kale and mushroom. So you'll see I have 3 of them going already. I already got my parchment paper ready. So once I finish scooping out all of the seeds, I will drizzle avocado oil over the delicata squash, season them with sea salt and pepper, cayenne pepper, and a few alkaline herbs to get them ready for the kale filling, kale and mushroom. I'll be back shortly. So you see I have these 3 beauties cut in half, so I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle a little avocado oil on each of them, and then I will go ahead and shake a few of the usual seasonings on everything. Got a little dill weed right there, a little bit of ginger powder. That combination, marks a little kind of garlicky flavor for us. Also get a little bit of sea salt, sprinkle over the top of there. Obviously I wouldn't be a Louisiana, New Orleans boy if I didn't put a little bit of cayenne on there. I gotta get the cayenne on there nice and good. Sprinkle a little bit of oregano, a little bit of basil, and then a little bit of thyme. Now I'm gonna have to get a little messy right now, because as called for in the recipe, I need to get these ready to go face down. So I'm gonna rub these, get the seasoning and everything all on them, on both sides. Get them nicely seasoned, turned over. Make sure both sides are nice and oiled down and seasoned up, and I'll probably also sprinkle a little bit more oil on the outside of these. And then keep in mind we also are going to fill these with that kale and mushroom mixture. So get these nice and ready, sprinkle a little bit more oil on there, and they'll be ready to go. While I'm waiting that 15 to 20 minutes for those delicata squash to come out of the oven, nice and knife tender, I'm gonna go ahead on and get my kale and also my baby bellas ready. I'm gonna use the same seasonings that I used on the actual delicata squash in the little stir fry I'm about to put together. So I'm gonna put some shallots in there, put my kale greens, also some baby bella mushrooms, thyme, oregano, cayenne, sea salt, ginger, dill, and also basil. It's gonna go into my stir fry. It also called for a cream, so I may do something with a little hemp seed milk because I don't like to cook with coconut. So I'm gonna stir this up and we'll check it out once it get in the pot, see what it's looking like. Be right back. Timer just went off to indicate that the delicata squash are ready to go. Let's open up and see. Oh, they look so delicious. Get these up on the stove top. And then these also should be knife tender. So let's grab a knife and see if we can get a knife easily into these puppies. Turn that timer off. And look at that, how easily that knife goes in. So we'll be able to cut through this pretty easy when it's time to eat. So we also have the mushroom and kale mixture started over here. So we will continue to let that cook down, and then we will fill these nice little puppies. I'll get these all flipped over in just a second and get those filled and back in the oven. So good, steaming hot after I flip them over. I just wanted to let you see them before they get filled. See all that steam coming off of them, looking nice and delicious right there. Okay, I have in here 24 ounces of baby bella mushrooms. Also 1 pound of kale, cleaned and cut, as well as 1 very large shallot. The original recipe also called for half a cup of coconut cream, but we don't cook with coconut cream, so I took 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, and put them in the blender for about a minute. And I'm going to add this mixture in until everything is nicely coated. So add a little bit more and let that cook down some. 8 ounces of that hemp cream that I just made, and I'm gonna stir that in, cook that down a little bit before filling the Delicata squash boats. Here we have it, plated and ready to eat. We get a good cut and a good taste on it and let you know what we think. Be right there. Okay, now it's time to cut it and try it. So we gotta make sure that we get some of the kale, also some of the mushroom, and also the Delicata squash in there. So let's get this first taste. Here we go. Wow, that's good stuff. Because you have that somewhat potatoey texture, sweetness of the corn flavor like they mentioned, plus the mushroom and the kale together is a winning combination. Delicata squash stuffed with kale, mushroom, and a hemp milk sauce. Put the recipe at the end of the video. Robert with YourElectricPlug, signing out. As I sit here and I enjoy the flavors of the Delicata squash, the kale and the mushrooms, I can't help but get that fall holiday vibe from this meal. Robert with YourElectricPlug signing out on this kale and mushroom stuffed Delicata squash. Tried it before, I never seen it before yesterday. And now, I think I'm gonna add it to one of my favorites.